If the only question you ask in your relationships is, why am I finding this difficult? If you learn to do that as an automatic response, all your relationships will transform. Today, in the session with my client, this is exactly what we did. They came to the session struggling with a child going for an exam, and we just sat with the question, why am I finding this difficult? And we took a look at what came up, and what we understood, what came up was, I don't want them to mess up like I did. Okay, and that's how we filter everything through the past. This is a really normal experience, and that fear of, I don't want them to, I want to be able to help them so they don't make my mistakes, was creating fear. And when we're scared, we go to the anger emotions. And I want you to think about impatience, annoyance, frustration. They're all anger emotions. They're just different shades of anger emotions. And so when you're feeling that frustration of with this kid, it always comes from fear. And so my client was experiencing the conflict of wanted to be a loving parent and support their child, and the experience they had growing up, which was, we don't coddle, you must be self-reliant, you must sort yourself out. And so those two patterns were in conflict. My client wasn't trusting themselves, and underneath it all was, I don't want them to mess up like I did. And is that story even true? Did you mess up? You know, when you think about the human experience and just the decisions we have to make, the mistakes we have to make, the way we have to learn, you know, this was this fear driving it all. And actually, none of it is true. My client hadn't messed up, and just loving and supporting their child without that fear makes it much easier to make decisions in the present moment without attaching your past to them. So just sitting with the question, that's all we did. Why am I finding this difficult? Gave my clients so much valuable information. They can see clearly how they are showing up, what they're making it mean, and then they get to decide, is this serving me to think like this or not? So if you would like help doing this, it's very simple to do, but it isn't easy. And that's why we coach. That's why we bring all these moments into a weekly coaching session, and you condition the ability to take a look at what you're doing. You're programmed to always focus on what's outside of you. If my kid just does what I tell them, they'll do well in their exam and they'll have a successful life. That's the fear. And where's that fear coming from? And do you want to operate from that place, or do you want to have a bit more clarity? So just conditioning the ability to bring what you find difficult in, if you condition the ability to just ask that question, and you come into a coaching session and you're supported by someone, because it's simple, but it isn't easy. You are not programmed to do it. So if you bring that into a coaching call, and a coach, the fastest, quickest, easiest way to get there is with a coach guiding you. This is going to make a big difference to all your relationships, and no one else has to do anything. So if you would like to do that, send me a DM right now. We'll take a look at where you are now in this relationship, where you want to be, and how coaching with me will bridge the gap between the two. We'll also discuss all the specifics of what it would look like to work together. Thank you.